Hi guys, it's BJ here. Welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to build a personal finance tracker. So this is how the design will look. So this is the dashboard here. So we have the income, you have the expense in percentage, the savings slash balance. Then we have the income and expense versus savings over time. So then we have the timeline here. So we can filter down by timeline. So let's go over April 2018, as you can see. Then we have this last month versus. That means did our income increase or decrease from last month? So it decreases by 2%, while our expense went down by 72.3% compared to last month. That means we didn't spend much compared to last month. Let's check March. So compared to the previous month, so our expense went down. That means we didn't spend much. That's why it goes down. So that's why it's not a negative number. And our savings increased by 85%. Then we have the income source share. So where our income sources, where our income are coming from. Then we have the expense source by payment type, which include the checking, the platinum card, the silver card. Then we have our spending by category, so the expense by category. So we have the credit card payments, the gas for groceries. So and all these are interactive with this timeline filter. So let me go over a quarter. That means from April, May, June. So as you can see from here, our savings went down in May by minus 124%. That means our expense increased to 224%. That means 100% of our income here. So we are also losing some money from here. That means we have a debt here, which will likely cover maybe from our previous month savings also. So as you can see, our expense increased by 115%. Then our savings went down. So let's start. Now, before every analysis, there is a business question, or particularly a question that you are trying to answer with your analysis. So that's what's written here. So we have the problem. So the problem is, so before we dive into any analysis, particularly this is the first stage or the first phase of every analysis, which is asking the right question or asking the right business question or knowing the business question or the business problem. So it's comprised of 6 phases specifically, which the first phase is the ask. That means understanding the business question, the context. Then the second phase is the prepare. That means after asking the right question, then we know the type of data we need. So that means we prepare data, collect it, clean it, who have access to such data. Then onto the third phase, which is process. The process is where the transformation comes, where you extract year data from a date time data month. So that's a transformation or pivoting and stuff like that. Then we now move into our analysis. So that grouping spending by month, after grouping spending by month, or we filter by year. So then we visualize, which is the shape phase. After visualizing it, so that means, as the saying goes, that a picture speaks 1,000 words or something like that. So we visualize. After visualize, then we present our analysis, or particularly the dashboard or a report, to the client. Then the sixth phase, they act on that our analysis. So now, for every for the first business problem, then we have the business problem. Then we have what our analysis will support, or the decision our analysis will support. So maybe it will support, where it will support what takes up most of our income, where the person can divert most of their savings into. Then we have what success looks like. That means if you're asking a business question, you have to know what the client is looking towards. That means, okay, now you present a problem to someone. That means you are likely looking to, okay, I have this problem, my expense is usually high. That's the business problem. So what success looks like is that, okay, I want my income to reduce, or my expense to reduce rather, and I want my income to increase, stuff like that. So that's what a success looks like. That means you are going to work your analysis towards what success looks like for the client. So now, before we start, we are going to design a mock-up of how the dashboard is going to look. So this is how the dashboard is. This is how the dashboard is. But for every analyst, let's assume that we haven't designed this, that we want to start with our analysis first. So we are going to design the dashboard. So the first step is to insert a shape. Let's insert a shape. So let's choose this rectangle with curved edges. So here, this is where our main KPI, which is the income, is going to be. So KPI stand for key performance indicator. They are the driving, or KPIs, they are the driving force of, let me just say, the measure of the health of a business. So this is where our KPI card will be. So we are starting from the left hand side because we usually read from the left hand side towards the right hand side. So that's why I'm placing this KPI card. This is a KPI card, particularly. This is a KPI card. So this is where we're going to put the KPI, which is this. So let me quickly build this. So let me put income. Then let's insert another shape. This will be our savings expense rather, sorry. Then we duplicate, Control D for duplicating. Let me drag this down so it will fit. So expense, savings. Now, how the trend of our three KPIs, which is the savings, and the expense. So, which is this, so that we can be able to track it across the months. Let me clear this filter. So as can see, January, February, as can see, even in May/June year, our savings are down. So as our savings are down, our expense increase. So as can see, one is going up, the other is going down. So this is just a 100% of our income. That's why it is in a rate percentage, because we are not trying to actually look at the number. We are just trying to look at, okay, if I receive $5,000 a month, so how much, or what's the percentage of it that goes to my expense? What's the percentage of it that goes to my savings or balance? So that's what we are actually trying to ask. We are not trying to actually put the real number. But of course, you can do that. Of course, you can put the real number. I'm going to show you that as well. But I just think this is just the best way to just show that, okay, we receive 100% of our salary. So some percentage of it went for expense, some percentage of it went for savings. So hope you got the gist. So this is our monthly income, expense, and savings trend. Then, so as you can see from here, what is my monthly income, which is where the KPI will be? What percentage of it or what percentage of it am I spending? So it's going to be here, so it's in percentage. And what percentage balance am I saving? So it's going to be savings slash balance. Let me just quickly put that as well. So what are the percentage of my income source share? So the income source share, let's quickly put that as well. The income source share, so it's going to be here. So our markup is almost complete. Let me check. Okay, so income source share, then income source share, then expense source. So we have two background card to put here. Let me expand it. Yes. Let's duplicate. Control D for duplicating. So let's duplicate again. So this will be our income source share. That means where the money is coming from. While this one will be the type of card which we make use of that takes off most of our the type of card we use, the share, just like the percentage of the expense we make by card. So that's what this is. Please pardon my grammar. This is my first YouTube video. So please try to bear with me. So and then this part here will be the category, how we spend our money, in which category does the category in which we spend most of our income. So which is this. So as you can see, expense source by category type. So since we have designed our mockup, so now let's inspect our data. So that means after asking the business question, which is the first phase of every analysis, now we proceed to the prepare. That means getting the data, cleaning the data, and stuff like that. So now this is our personal transaction, which we are going to use in doing that analysis, or the data which the client presents. So as you can see, this starts from 2018 and it spans over to 2019. Yes, 2019. Yes, September of 2019 also. Yes, 9/30 2019. So we have this date category, we have the description, we have the amount metric, then we have the transaction type. The transaction type, either credit or debit. Let me use filter so that we can be able to see the distinct values. So description, as you can see, we have lots of description here, lots of data for description. So the category, I think the category is best. We're going to use the category, then we use the accounts type. So this will be our income, and this will be our income source from the card we are using as part of our income, like this checking. As you can see, we have credits here, the type of transaction, either debit or credit. So now we are going to proceed with the analysis since we have the data set. So let me quickly create a new blank Excel workbook. So now this is where the work is. So I will be using Power Query. Then from Power Query, we move the data into data model. So we do our modeling from there. Then from the modeling, we will use pivot table. From the pivot table, we create pivot charts. From the pivot charts, we transform to the dashboard. From the dashboard, we do the cleaning. Then we provide recommendation and see the insights. After seeing the insight, then we can present the insight, the recommendation, and such to the client or shareholder or stakeholder rather. So let's proceed. So now for way to transfer the data set into Power Query, we have to head over to this data tab here. Then we click from text/CSV. Now, mind you, if you want to replicate this process, I'm going to present the data set and all the icons I use after. So we see it in the description below. So now we are using a CSV file. So it is different from an Excel file. So CSV file is comma separated value. We have tab separated value. We have space separated value and such like that. So now, since we are using a CSV file, so we are going to select this. Assuming we are using maybe a type of Excel workbook, we are going to head over to get data. So we are going to see from file here. So from we also have the option of text to CSV from here, text/CSV from here. You can also pick the data from database, maybe like from SQL Server, PostgreSQL, etc, Microsoft Azure. So like that. So let's quickly just import the data set. So we click the from text/CSV. So hold on. So it's open a directory. So let me go and select that. So the data set we are using is a personal finance data set. So we won't be using this. So I'll be omitting this. We'll only be using these personal transactions. Click on it. So it is processing. It's going to open the navigator. So this is the navigator pane, and this is just a preview of what our data looks like. So from here, we can either load the data into the data model, which is the Power BI, the data model, which we can access from the Power Pivot. Yes, Power Pivot. Or we can transform with Power Query. Mind you, Power Query is very good with data cleaning and transformation compared to using Excel formulas. So that's why I'm using this, so that it's going to be quick compared to using Excel formula. And also to open your eyes into how Power Query is, how to use Power Query. And also with this Power Query, you can use Power Query with Power BI as well for data transformation as well. So we are going to go head over into transform data instead of load data. So transform data. So it's going to open the Power Query. So from this Power Query, we can check and see our data quality. As you can see, we have valid, 100% valid, zero error, zero empty, and the data type of this date is in its actual format, which is date data. As you can see from here, this calendar icon you are seeing here. So it's a date data. So we are not doing much cleaning from here. Then for the description is in text value. So that's why you are seeing ABC. And for the amount is a metric. That's why you are saying 1, 2, which is in decimal. It is fixed number, decimal number rather. So transaction type is it's in a category data, so it's in the textual data as well. Transaction type, sorry. Then for the category data, so as you can see, it's in ABC format. Then the account name is the category data as well. So since our data is clean, we don't need to do much cleaning here. So I'm going to create a blank query, which I'm going to explain what I'm going to use that for. We are going to use that blank query, which is new query. We are going to store our KPI here. Yes, I'm going to store our KPI here. So let's make a quickly rename it. Let me just name it KPI measures. KPI measures. Okay. So let it add that. We are going to see it here shortly. Yes, that's it. So it's empty. So that is where we are going to be inputting our KPI measure. So let's close and load it into our data model. Close and load too. So please be be careful of this. If you click close and load, it's going to load this into Excel cells. So we don't want that. We want to load it into our data model. So click this. Then so it's going to ask us where do we want this data to be inputted to? Is it in a table, pivot table report, pivot chart? Now, what we want to do is that we want to only create a connection to that data. Only create connection, and then click this or check this box here. Add this to data model. Click OK. So it's currently loading. Okay, so now the data is loaded. So now this is what we are going to do next. So this is the query. So from here we can edit, we can load to, we can perform different operation. So now this is what we are interested in, this connection. So as you can see, this connection means the data is in the data model from what you are seeing here. So now to access the data model, we can access it in two ways. Either we access it through data tab, then and head over to this manage data model, or we can go to Power Pivot. Yes, Power Pivot, and click manage. So once we click manage, it's going to open the data in Power Pivot. So let's just click manage data model. So yes, as you can see, so this is how it looks. Now we have the data, we have the KPI measure. As you can see, the KPI measure is blank. It contains no information, but we are still going to use it. Now we want to create a date table. We are going to create a date table. The importance of that date table is that you want to use Microsoft or Power DAX data analysis expression. You want to use the um want to use the time intelligence of of DAX. So that's why we're going to be creating a date table so that date table, I don't want to go into specificity, but we are going to need it. Except this video might be too long. So we are going to click design. So we are going to click date table. So new date table. That means we won't be actually using this date for our month calculation, which is for this. So we won't be using that. We'll be using this. We'll be using the date table. So as you can see, after selecting the date table, so it auto generate this. And how it auto generates is that it goes into this personal transaction, then check the date table, personal transaction, then check the date column. After checking the date column, it checks the month, the year. So it just starts from there, and so it starts from there, from the January 1st of that month, including the timestamp. So all the way to 2019, December of 2019 also, I think. Yes, December of 2019, 12/31st, 2019. So as your data, as your personal transaction keep increasing, the calendar this thing will also be auto updating. Yes, it will be auto updating. So we are going to create some derived column, because as you can see, the month's year is in full month, but we want it to be in short, like the first three characters, which is Jan, Feb, except if you are to use the full name here, there might not be enough space to occupy this. So that's how we're going to do that. So let's quickly create a new column. Let's create month name short. Month name short. Enter. So from here, we are going to use the DAX format function. Format. So we are going to input the calendar date column, which is this, the calendar table. As you can see, calendar table, we are selecting the first column. Let me expand this. Sorry. So we are using the first column, which is this. Then now the format we want months, but we want the first three characters of every month. So M in three places, close the brackets, then enter. So as you can see, it has extracted the first month, the first three characters of the month. So now after getting this, we are still going to come back to this. Yes, we are still going to come back because I'm going to show you something. I'll be showing you something. So now after doing this, now let's load this data into Power Pivot or into Pivot table. Let's just load it into Pivot table. So use existing sheets. We don't want to create new sheets. Let me just quickly rename this as calculation, because this is where our calculation will be. Calculation. So from here, we are going to create our KPIs. Yes, we are going to create our KPIs. So according to the business question, let's go over again. We want our income KPI, expense by expense rate, savings/balance and rates. So let's first create these three KPIs. So under this KPI, as you can see, it's currently empty. So we right click, add measure. So our measure name will be income, then the calculation. Now, as you can see, let me show you the data set. Let me show you the data set. So from this data set, sorry about that. I don't know why this is not clicking or clickable. Okay, you know what? I will get back to that. So now, as you can see from this, let me just over it. Let me just over it so that you see something. So from this amount, which is the column C, which is the amount here, as you can see, we have our metric, which is the amount metric, the money that is coming in, the money that is going out. So there is no difference. We can't know which money is going out, which money is coming in. Money in, money out, you can't know it. We can only know it by this D column, which is transaction type, which is debit, 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 credits. Check this row 15. Row 15, you see credit, we have 2000 credits, then debit, then column row 22. We also have 2000 credits. So as you can see, we can't be able to discern between between the income and the money that is going out, the cash flow, the money that is coming in and the money that is going. We can't be able to discern with it. We can't be able to discern only with this amount column here. So we are going to use this transaction type, which is the column D, to filter for only credits, which is our income. Our income is the credit. So we are going to filter for only the credit. So let's proceed with that. So let me quickly create it. So we are going to use the calculate DAX, the calculate function. So now we are going to input our expression. The expression we want to use is that we want to sum. Yes, we want to sum the amount column. The amount column, as you can see, personal transaction, amount. Now we want to filter only for credits, which is our income. So we are going to input transaction type. Sorry, let me verify this. Okay, you know what? Let's just proceed. Let me check. So transaction type. Oh, sorry, I didn't close this as I'm not bringing it fully. So transaction type equals credits. Double quotes. Credits. Close it. Let's verify if our calculation is accurate. Yes, this formula has no error. So now we are going to use the number decimal. Here is 0. Yep. Okay. So as you can see, we have created our first measure, which is the income metric. Now, so values. Let's expand it. Now, let's calculate our expense. Add measure, measure name, expense. Now, we use calculate again. Then we sum amount, close the bracket, comma. Then we now filter for debit. We filter for debit. So transaction type, transaction type, transaction type equals double quotes debit. Sorry about that. Debit. Then we close the bracket. Let's check if our measure calculation is correct. Correct. Number, decimal, good. Okay. So let's drag it. So this is going to be our KPI. Let me quickly insert a row, another row, so you can be able to identify it. Sorry about that. Expense. KPI measures. Control A. Merge and center. Okay, we are still going to expand that. So now let's check our savings. So let's quickly create our savings measure. So now we did not actually have a savings transaction type that we are going to filter for. So as you can see, we only have the transaction type debit credit. So we are going to use the difference between the income and the expense to get our savings. You know that after receiving your monthly salary or maybe from an income source, then after minusing your expense, so the remaining balance, yes, it's also the savings because that's what you have left um after all your expense. So let's quickly calculate that as well. So now the measure is going to be add measure. Let's name it savings. I can also name this balance, but there's no difference there. So we are going to use our income measure. This measure we have already created. We are going to subtract it from this. We are going to subtract this from income. So income, which is the measure, that means we don't need to use account and amount table. We already have the measure calculated, so we don't need to start doing amount and transaction. We don't need to do that. So we have already get the sum of this, which is this, then minus this from this. So income minus expense. So okay, select number. Okay, I've created that as well. Let me quickly put it in. So now we have gotten most of our KPI. So we still need to do something. Yes, we still need to do something. So what we need to do is this expense and savings will be in percentage because we don't want the actual. As you can see, you can't be able to different. Although you can be able to differentiate, but this number is not giving us. Is not giving us like this is the rate at which we spend. This is the rate or this is the amount we spent. This percentage we spent, and this is the amount. This percentage you're able to save. So we have to convert this. So we have to convert this or extract the percentage from this. So how to get the percentage is we are going to create a measure for that. Add new measure, measure name. So expense percent, expense percent. Now we are going to divide expense from income. So expense, we are going to use the divide function. Divide expense, comma, from, sorry, I must have made a mistake there. So expense divide by income. Please don't mind me, this is my first YouTube video, so bear with this, please. So let's quickly divide that. Let me see if this is accurate. Let's check. Yes, there's no error. So we have gotten our expense. So let me quickly put it beside the expense. Whoa. Let me check where this issue is coming from. Sorry, let me quickly check where this is coming from. Looks like I didn't select it as percentage. So it's a space approximating it. That's why we are saying one there. So let's put it in, express it in percentage. Okay, so 77%. Now let's create for measure for savings as well. Add measure name, savings percentage. Savings percentage. We use the divide function, the DAX divide function. Then we input our savings divide by our income. So we are going to get the whole picture now. So number percentage. Okay, you see 23% once I put this beside, as can see. So that means we are spending 77% of our income, then we are able to save 23%. So this is actually great. Now, on to the next. Let's check the business question. We have already gotten our KPIs. So what percentage of it am I spending and what percentage of it? So we have already gotten that. We have calculated, we have what is my monthly income. We have done this too. So I want to track my expense across months and the timeline for yearly filter. So let's quickly do that. Let's quickly calculate that. So let's check. Let's write the heading monthly income versus expense versus savings. Okay, so I'm going to be creating this income. I'm going to be creating it. I will turn it into percentage as well. We are going to see, I'm going to explain the reason why I'm going to be that. Okay, let me just quickly brief you on that. The reason why I'll be doing that is that, see, if we are going to be tracking the income, the savings, and the expense across months, we have to express it in percentage. Okay, as can see from here, as can see value from here, income percentage. Value is 100%. That means we receive 100% of our income. Then the breakdown, that means 83% of it went for expense at this April month. Then that means 17% went for savings. As can see, even by checking on this May expense, as can see that we spent 154%. We spent 154% of our income. That means we're also having a deficit. We're having a deficit here. So that means the savings will be down by 34% or so. Or yes, okay, 54%. I made a mistake there. Let me check again. 154%. Then saving is down by minus 54%. So please hope you are grabbing that. If you have any question, you can post it in the comment section. I'll be sure to reply that. So now let me quickly merge this together. And so we will be using, let me copy this. Copy to C, to V. Let's leave this as it is. Yes, let me create that income percentage as well. Add measure income rate or income percentage. Income percentage. So divide income by income. Express it in percentage. So it's going to be 100%. It always be 100% because it only has 100% of our income for that month. But the reason why we are doing that so that I can be able to break it down by expense percentage and savings percentage. Because if you are to use this actual number, which is 124,270, if you are to use that compared to 77% on a line chart, the difference is going to be very, very wide. It's just like looking at this one, the line being plotted at the scale of 124,000 compared to 77. So what we got is we have to express this in percentage, which is 100%. You're going to see what I mean. I've already shown that. So I went ahead and removed the income, the expense, and the savings, and also make adjustment to our markup. So I don't want the video to be too long. Let's get back. So from this calendar year, we are going to use the month name short. There is something I'm going to show you here. So as you can see, we have all the data as 100%, 100%, 77%. So you can't distinguish this data, so as you can see, they are all the same. So now what we are going to do is that we are yet to make a connection with the personal transaction with this calendar table. We are yet to make a connect. There is no connection between the two tables. So we are going to make a connection so that the calendar is going to filter toward the personal transaction date column. You see, that's what I mean there. So let's go back to our data model. Power Pivots, manage. Okay, so from here now, let's say the diagram view of the tables. So as you can see, we have, let's leave this aside. This one is just our measure. There's no column there. So here we are going to make a connection with these two columns here. There's these two columns. So drag this and drag it onto this field here, the two fields. So now we have make a connection, which is one to many. We're filtering in this direction. So let's see if these changes as applied. As you can see, the change has applied. So now, as you can see that this our dates, this our month is not in a chronological manner, or should I say periodic manner. So we are going to sort it starting with January, February, and that. So let's head over to our power pivot again. So from this power pivot, let's enter into data view. And yes, so from here, we click on this month name short, then sort by column. Sort by column, then we are going to sort by this month number. Sort by month number, click OK. Let's check. Refresh. As you can see, it has applied. So we have already get the months. Now the income source share. Let's quickly do that. Let's quickly calculate for that. So I will copy this. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Let me put a row here so that we're going to input the name. Insert. Let's check. Income source share. Merge and center. Background color. Income source share. Income source share. So let's remove this. Let's remove all this expense percentage, savings percentage. Now let's put the category here. The category name. So this is our income source share, and let's remove this grand total. Remove grand total. Remove the grand total of this one as well. We won't be needing it. So now this is expressed in number. So let's express it in percentage because we're going to use a pie chart. So let's express it in percentage. Right click, show value as percentage of grand total. Okay, I think this is good enough. Except want to remove the decimal. Let's remove the decimal. Okay, so that's it. Now let me shrink this. Okay, so now expense by payment type, expense sources by payment type. Let's quickly do that. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Merge and center. Let me just copy this. Thank God for copy and paste. Okay. know what? Let's just put it expense sources by payment type, expense sources by payment type. Let's capitalize this. Capitalize. Okay. Let's merge it. Okay, so now let's quickly do this calculation. So we are going to remove the income because we are talking about expense now, not the income. So as you can see, once we remove that, it's going to input, it's going to show us all the distance for that category. So let's input the value. KPI measure expense. So as you can see, this is our expense. We have gotten that. So what else do we need? What else do we need? Income source by category. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. It's not category, it's by account name. Yes, account name. Sorry about that. I made a mistake. Show value as percentage of grand total. Let's remove the percentage. Number formats. Remove decimal 0. Okay. Let's check if you're on the right track. Okay. Checking platinum card, silver card. Okay, we're on the right track. So now we are going to do for this category here. Then let's quickly do that. Let me copy this. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Expense by category. Expense by category type. Expense by category type. Let me verify the name. Expense sources by category. Expense sources by category. Expense sources by category. So click on this. Merge and center. Background color. So we won't be expressing this in percentage. We'll be expressing it in actual value, which is the numeric value. We're expressing it in actual value instead of in percentage. So let's remove this. Let's remove this. So category row wise and expense. So that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that's it. Now there is something else we'll be doing here. So for this, we are going to need do some calculation for this. This is the last month versus the last month versus, and also for this one as well. So we are going to do that calculation as well. Do some calculation. Now we want to calculate for the previous month's income. The previous month, it has to be P, or let me just say previous month. So we'll be using DAX date add function. So it'll be date add. Now it's asking for the date colon. So you're using the calendar date, comma. So number of interval -1, and we want the granularity, the month granularity. So that Now we will be putting all these into the calculate function. Calculate function. Then we are going to get the amount. That means what we are trying to do here actually is that we are trying to get the previous month's income. Yes, we are trying to get the previous month's income, not the current month. The previous. That's why we are using this date add minus 1 month. That means 1 month back. The amount we have in 1 month back, not in this current month. That means as we are in November of 2025, we are trying to get the income of October 2025. So let's do that. So we are going to input the sum here. So we are going to use let's also use the income KPI. Income KPI. So to filter for that, income KPI, then we close the brackets. In number. So let's check that. Previous months. Let me rename this. Previous month's income, because we are going to do for expense as well, and we are going to do for savings. Previous month's income, let's put it beside this. Okay, let me readjust this. So previous month first. So as you can see, the previous month and the current month, they are not different, right? Now let's insert timeline. Okay. All dates. Now we are going to include some connection. Let's add connection to all our pivot table. So whenever we filter for a particular date or month, it's going to adjust all the whole pivot table for that month. So it will filter for that month. So let's mark all. So let's check February 2018. As you can see, the changes has occurred. So that means in February, we made about 7,163. So our current month, which is February, this is the amount we made. So now, if we head all over to the March, that means this February income will be at this place here, while the new income for March will be here. So let's check that. So as you can see, 5221. So which is for February. Now for March, 7332. Let's check that. Will be at the previous month if we move to April. So as you can see, it's working. So now let me clear the filter. Clear filter from dates. Let me put this here. So now we are going to calculate the previous month for expense as well and for savings. Okay, so let's calculate previous month expense. Right click, add measure name, previous month expense. So it is going to be calculate expense. Now it's not income, you are doing for expense. We also do for savings. Expense, date add function, then calendar date, interval, previous month, which is -1, then the granularity, which is months. Let's check our formula if it's working. Okay, seems we are missing something here. Okay, I forgot to add the remaining closing bracket. Let's check that. So it works. Number. Okay. So let me drag it here. Okay, so let's do for saving as well. Let me close this drop down. So let's do for savings as well. Add measure, measure name, previous month savings. So calculate savings, comma, date add, calendar date colon, comma, -1, then granularity, month, close bracket for date add, close bracket for calculate, number. Let's check. It's working. So let's drag that as well. Previous month savings. Okay, so now we are going to do the month over month calculation for income, for expense, and also for savings. So let's do that. I don't know why this keeps opening. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, right click, add measure. So month over month income. Now the formula for month over month calculation is to divide current month by previous month, then -1. So that's what we're going to do. Divide, we're going to call the divide function, the DAX divide function. Then current month, which is the current income, minus previous month income, close bracket, -1. So this is going to be in decimal. So it's going to be in decimal. So let's express it as percentage. Let me check where the issue is. This function invalid or incomplete. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, sorry about that. It's supposed to be comma, not minus. Sorry about that. Okay. So let's drag that. Let's drag that. So month over month. Let's put it beside income percentage. Okay. Coming. Let me see. Okay, it's working. It's because you are yet to filter. You are yet to filter. That's why you are seeing. That's why you are seeing it as 0% here. So let's filter. Let's filter. Let's filter by February and check. So as you can see, our previous month's income is greater than our current month's income. So that means we are down by -27% this month compared to last month. That's why you are saying that. So let me clear the filter back and let me clear the filter. So let's do month over month for savings and expense as well. Add measure, MOM, month over month, expense, divide current month, which is expense, comma, by previous month's expense. So it will be expressed in decimal. So let's express it in percentage. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know why I keep making this mistake. Check formula. Okay. So let's put it beside. Let's put it beside the expense percentage. Sorry about that. Let me insert this thing to create more room. Okay. Okay, so month over month is that. Let's do for savings as well. Add measure, month over month savings, divide savings, which is our current month savings, comma, by previous month by previous month's savings. Look, I'm missing a G here. So I will correct that later, probably at the end of this video or so. So express it in percentage instead of in decimal. Percentage. Okay. So let's drag that also. Savings percentage. Okay, so let's check our filter. Let's check our filter. So let's see. So as can see, it is working. Our current month saving is 2 grand, while our previous month savings is 4 grand. So that means we are down by 51% this month compared to last month. So let me quickly bring these values down because I'll be using this value with, I'll be combining it with the up and down arrow, so to show increase and decrease. And also you'll be using conditional format to format it. If it went up for income, it will be green. While if it went down, that means if our expense this month is less, that is a positive sign. So it's going to be green. While if it is up, that means our expense this month is up. That's a negative sign. So we want to keep our expense as low as possible, while our income as high as possible, and also the savings as high as possible. Hope you are getting that. So let me quickly do that. Okay, so let's bring this down. Equals to this. Enter. Now, so to include the arrow key, we have to do some conditional. We have to do some conditional statements. Equals to if current month's income is greater than previous month's income. So that's the condition test, comma. Now to include the arrow key, we have to use window key. You have to press it down and hold the period key, which is full stop. So head over here, up and down. So if you are doing yours, you might not see this, you might not come across this here, you might not see anything in recent here. Just search, you see at the bottom. So let's proceed. So let me put these two in double quotes. So if our condition is true, if the current month income is greater than the previous month, so it's going to be up. While if it is false, it's going to be down. So that's what these two signifies. So let's check if it's working. Okay. So that means our previous month's income is greater than our current month. That's why it's showing the down. Let's check. Let me check another month. Okay, so as you can see, it's working. It's working. We made 7 grand in this month, and compared to the previous, it's about 4 grand. So now let me include this month over month. So it's going to display right beside it. So use the and for concatenation. It's for text concatenation. And text. So when we include this value, this value is expressed in percentage. But if you are to include it at the bottom here, it's going to show like 0.58, and we don't 0.058 or something like that, and we don't want that. So that's where we are going to format it into percentage here. So the data, then in how many percent do you want it? I want it just only in 1%. So 10, then percentage sign, double quotes, close bracket, enter. That's it. So now let's do for expense as well. So month over month equals to if our expense, current month expense, sorry about that, I forgot to put the open brackets. If our current month expense is greater than our previous month, which is a bad sign. That means our current month expense is greater than our previous month, which is a bad sign. So window period up and down. So I put this in double quotes as well. Double quotes, comma, double quotes, double quotes, double quotes, double quotes, close brackets. Let's see. So as can see, our expense this month is less, which is about $2,396 compared to $2,969, which is a good sign. So our expense is less. That's why you're saying this. That means we spent 90% less compared this month compared to last month. So let me include this text and concatenation and text open bracket the value comma in how many percent do you want to express it, double quote, just no percentage, no decimal rather, close, enter. So let's do for savings as well. Yes, let's do for savings as well. If current month is greater than previous month, comma, window period up and down, double quotes, comma, double quotes, double quotes, close, enter. So as can see, we're able to save 194% more compared to the previous month. That means this month we save more, 194% compared to previous month. So let's concatenate it and text month over month savings, comma, double quote, 0%, close double quotes, close brackets. So that's it. So now let's do conditional formatting. That means since this is up, it's going to be green. While this one is down, it's also going to be green because we spend less. So this is a positive sign, not a negative sign. That means we spend less this month. We spend $2,396 compared to last month we spent 2,000. So it is a positive sign. Why this one is also a positive sign because we're able to save more. So this one also we make more income. We made more income this current month compared to last month. This current month compared to last month. So let's do conditional formatting. So conditional formatting, new rule. Use formula to determine which cell to format. If income current month is greater than previous month, format. So we format the font color to be green. Green. Yes, green. Okay. So this one is also a positive sign. That means we spend less. No, let's do for negative as well. Let's do for negative as well. So new rule. Use formula if current month is less than previous month with a negative sign. That means we made less. Red. Okay. So for month over month as well, new rule. Use formula to determine which cell to format. If our current month expense is greater than our previous month, which is a negative sign. That means we spent more. So red. Now, since we spend less, new rule. If this is less than this, that means we spend less. That means we didn't spend less compared to the previous month. Green. Okay. So for this one also, conditional format, new rule, current month greater than previous month, green. And if it is less, new row, current month is less than the previous month, format red. So let's verify. So that means we made less income. Let's check for expense as well. So that means we spent 4% more than our previous month. That's why you're seeing red. Buy for savings. Let's check for savings. Yes, that means we save less this month, which is April, compared to March. That means in March we save more, and this month we didn't save more. So we are down by 76%. So that's it. So let me design. Let's start with the dashboard. Let's start with the dashboard. Let's first clear the grid line, remove the grid lines. Now, the background color, that's the background, not the dashboard background, the background color is supposed to be something ash. Yes, ash. Ash color. So, Control All, Home, Background. Okay, let me close this. Let's insert shape. Rectangle with round edges. Let me quickly design this. So yeah, I'm going to use a color picker. Yes, I have a color picker here. You can get that if you need that. You can get that from Microsoft Store. This color picker. So this is going to help us to extract those color. So instead of us, because I'm a data analyst, not a UI UX designer, so I don't know some of this at the top of my head. Okay, the background or dashboard background. Let me get that. Pick. Okay, that is a navy blue color. It's a navy blue. Okay. No, sorry, I made a mistake. Not text color, shape color rather. Somehow confusing. Because I know I did not select any text. There's no text here. Okay. Yes. So for the KPI card. So yeah, we are going to use a gradient color here. Let me bring this out. Let me bring the rest of the shapes out. Let me bring the rest of the shape. Insert. Shapes. Let's remove the shape outline. No outline. Let me select the color we use for this. Ctrl A, Ctrl C. Shape fill. More fill color. Ctrl A, Ctrl V. Okay. So let's copy this. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Let's change the orientation from landscape to portrait. Or from vertical to horizontal. From horizontal to vertical rather. vertical. Okay, so let's insert our KPI cards. Control C, Control V. The reason why I'm not creating another shape or choosing the another shape icon is I want to maintain this coverage. I want it to be consistent. I want it to be consistent. So that's why. So it is too curved here. So we adjust it. Now this one I'll be using a gradient color. I'm still going to change this, but I'll be using the let's just leave it at the start. Let's get the rest of the shapes. Okay, it looks like we are still going to expand. Let me quickly do this. Let me quickly do this. Okay, so I have designed the wire of wireframe it. So this is a wireframe. So we are going to this is where we'll be inputting our KPI cards, the charts, line charts, the bar chart, the donut chart here. So let me import. Okay, there is something missing here. Okay, the search bar. This is not functional. This is just a design. It's not functional. So as you can see, if I click it, you just select the text. So it's not functional, including this search icon. The hamburger also is not functional. So let's just bring in those icons. Before bringing that in, let me do this. Let me insert shape. So let me check the positioning. Okay, positioning is here. So let's remove the shape outline. Outline. So the fill color. The fill color is the same as the background color. Okay. So let me bring in those icons. Picture. This device. Icon. Let me bring in all this. Let's reduce the size. I'm still going to attend to that. Let me bring in the hamburger icon as well. And the search pictures. The search icon. Desktop. Cool icon. Cool icon PNG. White. Hamburger. Remaining the search. Magnifying glass. Let's reduce it. So let me bring in a text box. So this is not functional. This is just for design purpose, not functional. Search here. Let's remove the background. Shape outline. Nope. Fill. No color fill. Then the text color white. Let me reduce this further. So let's duplicate this. Ctrl C, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Let me look at what I did here. Okay, created by BJ. Let's just use welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's an exclamation. Yes. The font color, let me use Sergio bold. Sergio UI semi bold. I love this. I love this font. I love this font. It's clean. Let me adjust this. Let me move this closer to this. So we have space for our icon, and since it is too large, you know what? Let me just. It is too bright. Let me see if I can. Let me reduce the color picture formats. Color. Let's see this. Okay, this is still good. This is good. Okay, so let me insert the icon, the picture, profile picture rather. Insert picture. This device. Desktop profile. Profile. Okay. Or let me see the placement. Okay. Here's a picture for the text. Let me move this. Sorry, the customization do takes time. Yes, the customization do takes time. Like I said, I'm not a UI UX designer, so please bear with me. Yes, welcome back. Like it goes. Let me adjust it a bit. Okay, welcome back. Now for the hamburger icon, let's reduce it. Okay. Personal finance tracker. So let's design the gradients. The gradients. Format shape. Fill. Gradient fill. So let me go over this because I don't want to waste much of our time. format shape. Okay, yeah, use an orange color from the starting. Okay, for this one, we use a purple color. Purple color, and it stretches. Now for this one, I use a blue color. Blue color. Then for the last one, another purple color. Okay, okay, good. Now let me quickly do the rest for the other KPI card. I think that will be it with this color picker. Let's expand this. Okay, so there's a divider here. We divide it. There's a divider there. So let me quick that. Because after divider, we use the last month versus and last month versus here. So let me insert it. Sorry. Shape formats. Let me duplicate this. Control D. Let's check. Okay. Okay, so the coin be beside here. The cash beside here. Let me reduce the sizes. Okay, then the dollar sign, Control X, Control V should be here. I reduce it. Okay, good. Now for the social media icons, where are those? Where are those? Where are those? Yes. X followers and X. Let me cut this. Control V. Let me bring in the rest of the shape. the rest of it. Let me bring in the desktop icon, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Insert. So this icon, I might later make it to be functional. But right now, if you click on it, it won't do anything. But I'm going to show you how to make it functional. So that once someone click on it, it go to the right address. Let me change this color. Picture format correction. Mm, let's use colors. No, that's not clear enough. What is this? Let me quickly insert the text. Centralize. Adjust it. Stretch it. Okay. Okay. So let's group all this together so we can stretch it. Right click, group, good, then stretch. Oh, sorry about that. Why is it not stretching out together? Let's stretch. Okay. So now let's bring in our KPI. So insert text box. Income, shape formats, shape fill, no fill, shape outline, no outline, text color, white, font type, Segway UI semi bold. Please, I can't pronounce this properly. Sorry about that. So let's put this one here. Let's copy, Control V. So this is going to be our expense. Control V is going to be our savings. Savings slash balance. Let's stretch it. Capitalize. Now for the rest, let me check for this one. So this income sources share. Income sources share. sources share. Expense sources by payment type. Expense sources by payment type. Expense sources by payment type. The stretch it. For this, income versus expense versus savings over time. Stretch. This one is category wise spending, category wise expenses by category, expense sources by category. Let's quickly copy this. Let's use format painter. Format paint. Why isn't this working? Format painter. I don't know why this is. Let me just change the color. Sometimes this do get annoying. So we are almost done. Now it remains to bring in our KPIs and the KPIs and the charts. So let's bring in our KPI first. Control C, Control V, Control Z, Control C, Control V. On the formula bar, you click the equals to sign. Okay. Yep. White. Segus. Sego UI semi-bold. Let's increase the font size. Now, the reason why we are increasing the font size is that we are prioritizing this. We are prioritizing this so that the focus, once someone is looking from left to right, the focus will be on the larger text. Yes, it will be on the larger text. Okay, so for the expense as well, let's copy this text box instead of creating another text box. Control V. So from here, equals to sign. Don't forget that. Expense 77%. We are still going to format it. Control V. Control A. Clear. Equals to. Okay, let me quickly format this. Now let's bring in the last month versus. Last month versus last month versus. Let's reduce the text. Let me copy this. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Let's reduce this. Now, there is something here that I have to mention. There's something I have to mention. You see, when we are going to, when we are going to import this last month versus this month over month rather, this month over month growth, this color here won't be applying. It won't be applying to the text box. It won't be applying. That's just how Excel is being designed. Although there is a way we can do it, but that way, since I'm using this type of background and not a white background, so it's not really recommendable. It's not really, I can't really recommend that. So let's just go with what we initially have, which is the white, which is the white text here. So let's use that. So let's create another text box. Ctrl V. So the customization do takes time. Customization do takes time. This have to be perfect. Clear equals to month over month. The text color white. Demi marker. Control All. Yes. Let me copy this. Control C. Control V. The value expense. Control V. The value savings. Text color to white. Let's check. Okay. Perfect. Yes, perfect. Everything is perfect. So now let's bring in our charts. Let's bring in the charts. So head over to the calculation. Let's bring this. Let me bring this timeline. Let me paste it here. Let me quickly customize this timeline. Model. New timeline style. Wall. Format. Border. None. Fill. More colors. Customize. Let me use the color picker. I thought I won't be needing it. Fortunately, we do. Okay. Copy this. Ctrl C. Ctrl V. So apply it. Let's remove this header. Let's remove the header section. Then let's turn all this to white, the text. Modify. We have removed the header, the timeline level. Let's format it into white. White. The period. So white. Period label 2. That one white as well. Customization do takes time. Honestly. Format. But let's leave this. Let's leave this as it is right now. Let me make changes to this. Is this it? What? Then what? Let's just leave it as it is. Let me adjust this down so that we're going to see the slider. So yes. Let me clear filter from dates. As you can see, the changes is applying automatically. So let's create our charts. Guys, click on any part of the pivot table, which is for the dates and the months. So insert pivot charts. Now, there is something I want to mention here. You know what? Let's leave that for later. So line. Okay. Let's Control X cut. Control V paste. Let's quickly do the rest. We do the formatting here. Formatting all together. Insert. So we are going to be using donut charts. Donuts. Control X. Income source by share. Control V. Shrink. Expand. Adjust. Income source by expense source by payment. Right click. Insert. Pivot charts. Pi. We can use either this or we can do this either way, still the same. So I just shortcut X, Ctrl V. Let me adjust this. So let's bring the category, the bar charts, insert, recommend charts, yes, column charts. Ctrl X, Ctrl V. So expand. Okay, so now we'll be removing some elements from here. So click the plus sign. We don't want the chart title, the legend. You know what? Let's remove this. Let's remove these feed buttons. Design. Okay, people charts. Remove feed buttons. Remove feed buttons. Remove feed buttons. Remove. So there will be more room. Let's remove the title of this one as well. Remove the chart title. Now, let's remove the background. Formatting. Background, no fill. no border. Likewise for this, no fill, no border for this as well. No fill, no border, no fill, no border. Let me adjust this. So let me remove this legend, total, and the grid lines, chart title, remove, grid lines, legend. Let's change the text color. You know what? Let's just remove this. Let's remove this text color. Let's make it white. Let's make it white. Likewise for this, white. For this as well, white. This one, white. Let's remove the grid lines of this one. Remove grid lines. So I'll be changing this color. Let's change this color to blue. You know what? Let's smoothen it first. Let's smoothen this one as well. Let's smoothen it. Smooth lines. So I'm going to change this color to look like it's a lighter blue version. Yes, it's a blue version. It's a light blue version. So line, select. Yes. Now for this one, which is the expense, I'll be using this teal color. There is a teal color. Teal, T-A-L. Using that. So it will be denoted so that once we know that this is teal color, this one is also teal color, so you can be able to distinguish with that. Then this one, the green color. So to make it look more aesthetic. Yes. Let's remove this to create more room. Then let's adjust this. Let's put this legend at the top. Yes. The text color, let's make it white. Okay. Okay. So for this one also, let's change the color. Let me adjust this. Let me reduce the size, the font size. 8 is good. This is still fair. Likewise for this. 8, Control B for bolding it. So let's format this donut chart as well. Let's first increase the radius. So 90. Yes, this one also 90. Now let's remove the borders. This one as well. Let's remove the border. No border. No border line. So for this color, click on it. I don't know why this isn't, why this is not clickable. Okay, for this color, let's see the color we use. Okay, we used teal for the large parts and green. Let me check the color I use there. Oh, it's a light green or something. Okay, so let's change this bar color to teal as well. Nope. Let's add the data label. Let's change the color. Let's change the color to white. Let's decrease the text size. Let me stretch this. It's stretching beyond what we initially planned. I don't know why it's doing this today. So let me return it back to the default. Okay, guys, so here it is. Here it is. So this is personal finance tracker dashboard. Let me remove this border. Not lines. So this is our personal finance tracker done. Yes, we are done. Yes, so you can filter by dates, by months rather, stretch 3 months makes a quarter. If you want to track across quarter, 3 months. So as you can see from here, if one is increasing, the other will be decreasing. That means if our expense is increasing, our savings will be also be what decreasing. That means on this May we have spent beyond our income. That's why our savings also went down by 124. That means we're having a deficit here. We're having a debt here. So that's why you are seeing this. Let me change the granularity. So years. Let's check for 2018. 2018 data. So this is 2018 data. That means our total income for 2018 is 71 grand. Then we spent 68% and saved 32%. I think this is still quite good. This is still quite good. Yes, assuming we have net worth. There's also a part called net worth. If we have a net worth, that means we purchase some stocks, bond. We can also create the KPI for that as well. But since this is not included, so we just have to just leave the remaining, which is the savings after the expense. You have to just leave it as savings or balance. It's just like having an account, then you spend money, then your remaining balance for that month before another income comes in. So like that. And for this 2019, it looked like we did not have the whole month for 20. It stopped at September. June 2019, we spent more than our income here as well. Let me check 2018 for 20. That's for 2019. That's for 2018 June. That's where we have our peak expense. Yes, this. So, guys, that will conclude the end of this analysis. That means let me check the business question we have been able to answer. We have been able to answer all these. So that will be it for this video. So if you like this video, like, subscribe, and share, and turn on your notification bell. And if you have any question, just put it in the comment section. I will be sure to reply that. Thank you, everyone. Have a great, wonderful morning, night, afternoon, evening. Bye.